No, he's got a 1390. He's almost 1,400 OPS. Jordan wishes he was Jake Meyers. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
And he led off with 2 doubles yesterday. Astros win. Bing, bing, bing. Yonder Diaz.
Seeing the ball well.
Home run.
Hey, listen, that'd be great. If you can get Jake and McCormick, if Jake is a legit hitter this year, it'd be terrific. You solve one of your problems.
Absolutely. If Jake is...
Jordan gets to chill out a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah. Jake Meyers' number of at-bats this spring is 9. 9, okay? And that's a big enough sample size. He's got 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 doubles, and 2 RBIs.
So we're doing OPS talk for a guy who has 9 at-bats?
7 total bases. Yeah, that's right.
What else you got?
That's all. Yeah. Well, this says he's... yeah.
He's
Okay.
got to have more than 9.
No,
That's
1393 OPS. That's one of the
He's
greats.
really only got 9 at-bats?
9
That's
at-
it?
That's it. Dubon, 1,200 OPS. Thank you. Victor Caratini, 1,000 OPS. I don't even know how Yiner's going to get on the field anymore. Okay?
It's amazing. We'll see how this works out. We'll see if these guys if he can keep this 9 at-bat pace. Jake
Over
Meyers.
600 at-bats this year?
Yeah, he's only got 460 more at bats probably to go. And
We'll see. I mean, at this rate, though, he's one of the great hitters in the game today. You got that, and you also got. Oh my gosh, how disgusted was I to hear this? JoJo Tugler done for the season. I mean, that kid is playing great. JoJo Tugler is going to be. He's got a stress fracture in his foot, which for a big guy, it just seems like this happens so much. You've already lost Ramon Walker, right? You lost somebody. You got somebody else that's been injured as well. I mean, you're down to basically a 7-man rotation for the Cougs, and JoJo Tugler was so important. My goodness, so important because he comes up. Javier Francis is going to have to play so much better. He ain't JoJo, though. I mean, over and over, we've heard Kelvin just gushing about the way this freshman was playing. He is going to be here, hopefully, for the long haul. Terrence Arsenault, he's been out. Ramon Walker, and now JoJo. But JoJo's the biggest loss of them all. Ramon Walker was supposed to play a role this year, and so was Terrence Arsenault. But JoJo's has played a big role. And now you got a freshman that's got to come in, and he got 10 minutes the other day. But you barely survived Oklahoma, and Jamal Shed with the miss on the layup or the chippy, and then got the rebound and put it back in as time was closing out, and the Cougs win it in dramatic fashion at Oklahoma. 2 games left now.
You're going to have some of those, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still pulling them out.
2 games left now. Wednesday at Central Florida, and then Saturday back here against Kansas.
And then you got, it's a revenge
That's
game
a fun
for the
game.
Cougs.
That's a fun game.
You should have a lot
And then-
of energy.
And then
Who's the next one?
It's Central Florida, at Central Florida.
So that's one that's a concern. I don't know how good Central Florida is right now, but the situation of coming off an emotional game and then having Kansas coming up at home, and then you go on the road to Central Florida, it's a big sandwich game. Yeah. But that Kansas game is going to be fun because you owe them one.
Yeah.
And
big time.
I would hope that
in this place,
it's going to be packed.
But man, losing Tugler is huge, dude. Huge. I love the way that kid plays. I thought Javier early on, I'd much rather see Tugler on the court as opposed to Javier Francis. But now, Javier's going to have to step up and play his ass off because you know JoJo, and he's going to get more minutes now, and he's got to make more baskets now. JoJo was so good around the basket, so good defensively. And Jawan gets into, getting into foul. Who gets into foul trouble that's got to stay out of foul trouble is LJ.
Yeah, LJ Cryer gets into foul trouble.
He does. He gets into way too much. Yeah.
Fouls.
And you got to have that guy because, again, that's the guy, the sharpshooter that you got to have. You get the ball to him. He was knocking him down the other day. He is really fantastic. And this is fun. I didn't see it.
How did he hurt how did Tugler get hurt?
It happened. He had one bad instant, and then he tried to play on it, and
he had the ankle injury.
It just worsened.
And I wonder if
this is in his foot. It's a stress fracture.
It said his foot. I know he had an ankle too, so I wonder if that kind of exacerbated it because he was making up for one.
So anyway, that's the bad news. The good news is they won, but again, every season it seems like this team loses major pieces as they head toward the tournament. Every season it's like that. Well, they play so hard, so maybe that's part of it, is how hard they play. And, every single play is like, the NCAA championship game. So maybe that adds into it. But you know what? So what? You got to keep on going without that guy. That's all you got to do. And then the Rockets with a big win. What about our team?
Yeah.
How about, what do you mean? Why is that look? On the road, winning, okay. Have you ever had 6 wins on the road, Del? No.
Any road win is a huge win, Del.
Okay, if that's the standard, then sure, a big one.
That is the standard right now.
Yeah, that's the standard. Beating oh, really? Have you ever heard of Devin Booker? Ever heard of Kevin Durant? Ever heard of Bradley Beal?
I've heard of a lot of people.
Okay.
Yes.
You ever heard of them?
Yes, I've heard of a lot of people. I've heard of Drew Eubanks and Josh Okogie. I've heard of a lot of people.
Yeah, you heard of those guys.
Yeah,
too.
I've heard of them.
Why aren't they better than they are? I don't get it.
Well, Bradley Beal barely plays, and when he does, he's getting ejected after only scoring 7 points.
Well, that was kind of dumb. A little bit dumb.
If you missed it, Jalen Green had a complete game. We remember late last week, he had a really great first half and then struggled in the second half, and the Rockets lost to the Suns. Well, they played the second game of their quote-unquote baseball series, as some people like to call it, on Saturday, and he was great throughout. The Suns are a very unserious basketball team.
They're unserious.
They're unserious. If
you
watch,
people are not a serious
particularly against the Rockets, they're very unserious. So Jalen Green's having a good night. He plays good defense on Bradley Beal. Şengün blocks a shot. So it's out on the Rockets under the baseline, inbound for Bradley Beal. Apparently, Jalen said no a couple times after blocking a shot, so Bradley Beal fakes like he's going to hit him with the basketball, then bops him on the head with the basketball.
I mean, that's true and one stuff.
Well, Matt Barnes tried to do that to Kobe. He didn't actually hit Kobe because he knew better, and Kobe didn't move. But Bradley Beal actually hit Jalen Green with the basketball, then inbounded it, tie up, whatever, foul, whatever. And then they got into it because Jalen Green's like, what are you doing hitting me with the basketball? Shove, pushy shove. Then Bradley Beal hits Jalen Green in the face with the arm. He gets ejected, and the Rockets go on the win. So after getting your ass kicked by Jalen Green for about 2.5 quarters, then you get thrown out of the game.
And who was the best player for the Rockets that night?
Jalen Green.
No, Grayson Allen.
Well. Oh, you meant for overall for the Rockets as opposed to the guy actually on their
Allen
team?
Was awful.
I told you they're unserious. In the previous game, on an inbounds, I think in the third quarter or something, I'm watching inbounds. He's uncontested. He takes a three-pointer like 3 steps inside the half-court line just because he can, because they're not taking the Rockets seriously. Of course, the ball hits the backboard first, hits the rim, and he misses. The entire thing, those 2 games, the Suns didn't really take on the Rockets. I think the Rockets were serious, and the Rockets actually got them on Saturday. The Suns are unserious. That's the biggest takeaway from me from watching them for over 96 minutes against the Rockets.
They just don't care. They just have no respect for the Rockets.
They didn't. And then Devin Booker gets hurt late in the game, and he missed their game last night. So another injury for the Suns. But the Rockets do get a win, and Jalen Green played well in let's say three of the 4 halves.
Well, how about, the big story is another Rockets road win. That's the big story.
That's factually true. It is another win.
It is another Rockets road win. The Suns are in the play-in right now, and so is Dallas. Boy, Dallas has really caught it lately. As good as they were playing lately, they have had.
And they lost 2 in a row. They went into Indiana and got their ass kicked, and then they came home against the depleted Sixer team. By depleted, they didn't have Joel Embiid, which makes them that way. And then after getting out to like an 11-0 start, they were awful the rest of the way. Sixers got a big win as they try to stay out of the play-in. So, yeah, you look at the play-in right now. It is Phoenix, Dallas, the Lakers, and the Warriors.
Yeah. And I'm not sure.
And are the Rockets competing after they get a big road win? Are they still in the race?
They're right there. They're right there in the thick of it.